Super's the last piece of his work actually was finished by his son and Mark Savickas and some other people. It was on adaptability. Much less of an emphasis on the one-time match and trying to teach people to be adaptive in the world of work. Paying attention to the fact that people's relationships to work change all the time, and they change radically from time to time. And for most of us, they change radically at least a couple times in our lives. It's a hard sell to anxious students who want to get finished with this. They want to come in and take the test, or they want to figure out the major and then not think about this again. Humans crave predictability. We have to have predictability. Why we created language, was so that we could sort of figure out what the rules are and then manipulate the world around us so we can obey by the rules and survive. So if the rules are changing all the time, we're not so keen with that. And we actually find predictability in places where it isn't. We're so desperate for it that we create it. We sort of mask over it and say, okay, there's some order to that. If I had to figure out who's better off here, KU students who are undecided and adaptive, decided and adaptive, decided non-adaptive, undecided non-adaptive. Of course, the place where you'd want to be is decided and adaptive. Okay, so adaptive means that I'm kind of getting out there and mixing it up with the world, and I'm trying a lot of different things. I'm flexible, but I haven't closed off a lot of options, and yet I'm kind of pretty sure this is the direction I'm going. I'm okay with that, but I'm still open to the possibility that new things could happen. The worst place is to be undecided and non-adaptive. So I sit in my room and I don't engage the world, and I don't have a major. I'm clueless and I'm afraid to death to go outside. Okay. If I had to put you in one of these other two places, I would probably I would rather have you be undecided and adaptive rather than decided and non-adaptive. This is the scariest group for me, actually. The people who come to KU and while they were in high school, they said, I'm going to major in biology, and they are great students, they're straight A students, they work themselves up into a froth, but they never talk to anybody else. They don't know any of the other options that are out. They don't have a plan B, and they don't know that it would be wise for them to think about a plan B. So they're totally non-adaptive. And when the biology thing tanks for some reason, they can't pass this class that they have to have, or they faint at the sight of blood, or something that they have no control over, they are lost, big time lost. So I would rather have them be undecided and adaptive. Undecided, they'll get over it. They'll figure it out. As long as they're out there mixing it up with the world and trying to do things and thinking about this stuff, it will happen for them eventually. At least something will happen for them. And sometimes you got to pick. You have to decide, even if you're not committed to it. You got to pick a major. KU says at 60 hours you got to pick something. So pick it, but don't then say, okay, I picked psychology, so now I'm going to stay in my room and be a good psychology student. Pick psychology, and if you're not passionate about it and you're not committed to it, keep scratching and see what else is out there, even while you're pursuing that. Okay, takeaway lessons from adaptability. Don't oversell getting it right, getting the match right. Don't undersell flexibility and how important that is both now and in the future. Predict that, in fact, they will change.